Yo guys, and on today's video I will be going over this daily falling wedge for Bitcoin that is coming very close towards its apex right now, together with Bitcoin testing its upward sloping support line it has not tested for the last approximately 66 days, and currently we are seeing a very strong bounce getting created, and much more will be getting discussed on today's video. So make sure to right away slap up that like button, guys. Make sure to do so, because standing out here on YouTube while the market is down is a little bit harder, and getting really people exposed to crypto is a little bit harder, and you could help us by smashing up the like button to still get this video out there. So make sure to smash it up, it will be highly appreciated, and let's jump right away in towards the content. So what we're essentially seeing right now is that Bitcoin on the daily time frame has formed, of course, this downward sloping previous resistance that flipped into support, like you can see over here, and this downward sloping resistance line. We are basically looking at the falling wedge here, and basically what is identifying a falling wedge here is that markets came up, came down again here, but basically it can't really fall that significantly anymore, and at one point the sell pressure will run out, why it is a very likely pattern to be breaking out towards the upside. Falling wedges really tend to be breaking out towards the upside, and especially if you're going to get a confirmation on the RSI. And currently we are seeing a very nice indication on the RSI that we are forming, of course, a higher low on the RSI, like you can see over here. And while we are forming that higher low on the RSI, the price action is forming a lower low. And of course, do note also on the previous low over there that we created, we also formed a higher low on the RSI. So basically we're seeing a double confirmation on the RSI getting formed that the price action is going to be moving up on the daily time frame. Do reckon that. Of course, this daily candle first have to close in the green to really confirm that. Today it's Sunday. Usually over the course of the weekends the market is usually a little bit more volatile, and do also know the CME gap for Bitcoin is trading around the 38.6k, what basically means that it is very likely to expect that Bitcoin is going to be moving up and approximately another $300 to $400 at least from of this region. Then at the same time, if we're really going to zoom in towards that 4-hourly time frame, we can see the similar pattern is playing out, but then only on the 4-hour time frame rather than, of course, the daily time frame. Here you can see the 4-hourly time frame for Bitcoin forming a clear downward sloping support line, and really these touch points are very significant. And if we can finally break above that top side of resistance, Bitcoin is going to start breaking bullish. We have seen over the course of the approximately last 6 Sundays that the market is usually tend to become extremely volatile, so do also take that in consideration. There's a high probability that Bitcoin is going to start moving very significantly once again today. Then also another reason why I personally think there could be a very big move getting created on Bitcoin is this parallel channel. Of course, if we're zooming out, many people have been talking about a bear flag on Bitcoin, and of course I can't say this isn't a bear flag, but I also will say usually once Bitcoin is looking the least strong here, it's the best time to long this market, and it's the best time to look at, of course, that upside on the market, especially if we're going to compare Bitcoin to other assets like the S&P 500. People say there's high correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500, and that is exactly true. The last 100 days, there has been a higher correlation with the S&P and the Bitcoin price section, but that's due to, of course, uncertainty. But if we're looking back towards the history of Bitcoin, we do know that Bitcoin has always outperformed the S&P 500, and that in some periods of the year, it is just moving a little bit closer to the S&P 500 than other moments of the year. But what we can clearly see is that Bitcoin is currently retesting its upper sloping support line, and you can clearly see we've got two very strong touch points, and every single time last time around we touched it, we moved up towards the upside, and here also we moved on towards the upside. So will we once again see another move getting created towards the upside region? There is definitely a possibility for that. I don't want to be the extreme bull out here, but yeah, there is definitely a possibility to see that bounce towards the upside. For me, I will be taking it very carefully, and of course what I really want to be seeing holding on is basically if I'm going to zoom out towards the weekly time frame, and if I'm then going to open that VPVR, the volume profile range here, what I really want to be seeing for Bitcoin, I don't really care if we're going to exactly hold that 38 or 37k here. What I really care about is that Bitcoin is going to hold the region from the 40 towards $33,000, because basically this region what I'm currently addressing to you guys out there, and let me make this green because that's a little bit more relevant, is basically a volume support range. And volume support is really a level that I want to be seeing, Bitcoin holding on. And basically what we also can see from the order book is that around this region, the majority of the big orders are set up here. And what is also very important to know here is that there are a lot of orders currently, a lot of wills trying to really get their orders in here. They are, of course, limit ordering in here because a will is not really going to be marketed by Bitcoin. Because if you're going to be marketed by Bitcoin, Bitcoin moves up. If someone sells Bitcoin right now and it triggers a level, and that is one the wills are going to be buying. They are going to be pushing the price back up here if they reach that trigger level. And that is why we're not getting an explosion towards the upside, but we are seeing a lot of accumulation. You are really on the side, you're right now really deciding either if you're going to sell the dip or if you're going to be buying the dip. But currently I'm still buying it for sure. Then also looking at the MACD on the daily time frame, you can currently see that the MACD has not flipped bullish yet here. But what we can clearly see is that in terms of the histogram, we're forming a clear higher low, while the price action is forming a clear lower low. Also a clear bullish divergence on the histogram on the MACD, also interesting to see here, and also a big buy signal for Bitcoin. Then also looking at the Bitcoin dominance, I don't really want to be breaking the game here. But to be very honest, I don't really think that this chart is looking all too strong for the altcoins. Just like last time around, we reversed very significantly towards the upside. And right now, for the first time for a very long while here, the weekly time frame on the Bitcoin dominance has been forming a higher low. And this could be easily, of course, climb back up towards the upside. And of course, what we can right now really see here is that Bitcoin comes down towards 37k or something, and then altcoins are going to suffer very hard. And then, of course, Bitcoin comes back up here, and these altcoins don't come up here. And that is why we are seeing, of course, an increasement on Bitcoin dominance. We can see that Bitcoin dominance climbed up already 3% over the course of this week here. So that is pretty significantly, if you would ask me here, pretty significant increasement. What I'm currently looking at as well, on that weekly time frame for the Bitcoin chart in terms of the dominance, you can clearly see we are forming some kind of a falling wedge here. And of course, like we just discussed there, a falling wedge is a typical bullish bias pattern here. So I actually wouldn't be surprised to see, of course, Bitcoin move up and altcoins down. You'll see that doesn't really tend to happen, but right now, since there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, people are shifting their altcoin profits back towards Bitcoin, or their altcoin losses back towards Bitcoin. That is why Bitcoin is holding up a little bit better right now, and that is why the altcoins are going to hold up a little bit less good here. So falling wedge is getting created. It is likely to expect some climbs for the Bitcoin dominance. The targets that I'm really looking to be potentially enter a lot of altcoins once again at are definitely around that 54 to 55% target for the Bitcoin dominance chart here. However, I am still accumulating some altcoins out there because I don't really think that all altcoins are going to suffer, because if we're going to do more in-depth analysis here, you can clearly see that across the funding rates here, first of all, Bitcoin has extremely negative funding rates, but at the same time, there are a lot of altcoins that are extremely negative right now. And that basically means that a lot of people are anticipating that these altcoins are going to fall here. And of course, some of them, of these NFT projects, let's say that, because I personally think that the NFT bubble is really, popping right now. It's bursting, and I think it's good here because I've warned a lot of people for those stupid NFTs that were basically worthless and that some people were trying to sell to you. And right now we're seeing that bubble basically pop here. Also, some of these metaverse projects, what I think was way too overhyped here, what I have said several times before on the channel, are right now also popping off. Those are not having extremely negative funding rates, but you can see some coins that are actually having a pretty good use case that are right now, of course, getting shorted very heavily, just like Polkadot. Look at that. Just like Luna having, of course, across DYDX having minus 0.06% negative funding rates, and of course across Binance as well, 0.02. So there are a lot of good, altcoins that are basically getting shorted heavily. What is also for me really giving a signal that this market could start to create a short squeeze. We can see that the majority of the trades are currently also in shorting positions, and since the funding rates are so extremely negative, we can clearly, of course, make a statement that the majority of the money in terms of leverage is currently getting used to short the market. And of course, if the majority of the market is shorting, the chance on a very big short squeeze is starting to become extremely likely, and that could, of course, move the market very quickly back towards the upside. Then also real quickly talking about the monthly time frame for Bitcoin and really talking about a short squeeze, we are currently looking for a very big movement to start to get created here, right? And if we're going to look at the monthly time frame, we can clearly see that there is going to be a massive breakout in this month here. May is going to be the decisive month here where we are going to see a massive breakout across the border. Whether it's going to be bullish or bearish, we can once again see a falling wedge getting created on this RSI pattern. So it is going to be likely to assume we are going to be moving towards a bullish bias target. Of course, if we do break bullish of this RSI pennant or this RSI falling wedge, I should say, we can start to move up very significantly, because if we're going to be spiking back towards those overbought territoriums, this could be, of course, lead towards another massive rally and towards another massive FOMO rally, basically, for Bitcoin. What we still have not seen here, especially in the second run up, we were not seeing really that FOMO kicking towards the market. But if Bitcoin decides to move way quicker, in a way quicker pace like it did last time around, we can start to create that optimism once again back in towards the market. But for sure, there is going to be a high amount of volatility due to this falling wedge on the RSI that is definitely going to be breaking out here in May. So do make sure that you are going to take your attention towards this pattern on the RSI. Also, looking at the fear and greed index, we can see that we're sitting on 22 today, higher than yesterday. Yesterday we were sitting at extreme fear number 20. But basically, if we're going to look back towards the last year, we do know that every single time once this market is in extreme fear, it is, generally speaking, a very good buying opportunity. And of course, I'm not necessarily saying that always once you're buying the fear that tomorrow you're going to sit in profit. But no, in terms of an average good buy price, this is a very good decision to do so. Just look back here on the left side. This was the summer low of 2021, while the market was trading between the 10 and 25 to 30 on that fear and greed index the whole time. And basically, in hindsight, that was a very good accumulation range, because Bitcoin was trading between 28,000 and 35,000 US dollars in that region. Of course, here we were sitting at high stages of greed. There was, of course, October, the second peak of the market, and that was a very good sell signal. And right now, once again, we're sitting on these lower stages where we're seeing a lot of fear in the market. And once the fear is high, it is usually tend to say that it is a very good buying opportunity on the market. So do take that in consideration, and don't forget that ever again here. Also, looking at my trade, of course, my trade is right now on a 20% loss here. But for me, it's not really a big of a problem here, because what my strategy is with this trade, I've currently still got another approximately $2 million US dollars on the sidelines to still enter in this market, $2 million in quantity. So an approximately 500,000 US dollars in Bitcoin to enter in towards this trade. And what my strategy is here is that the more the market is going to come down here, the more I will be entering this trade here. And of course, I've already got some extra levels filled up over here. That's why I'm currently in a 700,000 US dollar position. What I basically will do here is that I will be buying more and more and more and more as the market comes down further, because what I do believe in mean reversion, once the market comes down too much here, it is eventually going to get pulled up again. And what we can see also here with this falling wedge here, this is a typical falling wedge here, typical bullish bias reversal pattern. And as soon as we do break out here, sentiment changes very quickly. People that have been waiting to be buying the 30k dip here out of nowhere see Bitcoin trading on 50k. They think, oh damn, I have to get in right now before I lose the boat here, before I can't able to be buying some Bitcoin to lose 60k again. And then the price is going to be moving up again here. We only need one catalyst and the market can move up very quickly again here. That is why I'm accumulating. I don't believe that Bitcoin is going to go below 30k, even though I am prepared for Bitcoin to go all the way down to 27k, and I will be still alright with my trade. So do I really think Bitcoin is going to go below 27k? No, I don't think so. Do I think there's a possibility for Bitcoin to go to 30k? Yeah, there is a possibility. That's why I've got some orders set up over there to still accumulate more in towards my trade. But of course, it's not my main scenario, because otherwise I would have already entered with more than 150k. If you're interested in trading, make sure to check out the link in the description. This is, of course, this low leverage trade that I'm basically taking with more initial investment is basically some kind of an accumulation trade here. On this way, I'm still accumulating more and more Bitcoin as the price continues to go down here. And of course, as soon as the price does continue to go up again, I will be taking partial profits along the way up out of this trade again. And if we then fall again, I will be adding more and more towards it. And that is basically how I will be making this trade bigger and bigger and bigger and still accumulate more Bitcoin. So that's my strategy. Let's say Bitcoin is going to be traded back on towards 44,000 US dollars. I take 10% of the out of this trade, and the 10% I set up on the 33,000 US dollars. So that's basically how I'm going to do it. That is basically how I'm going to be extending my trade as well in the future. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date about this trade here, what I'm going to do with it. But it's definitely going to be a very exciting one. Check out the link in the description for Bybit to get a 4,800 US dollar deposit bonus. But this was already it for today's update video, guys. I'm currently heading to Malta, and I'll see you guys very soon on a new update video. Peace out. Goodbye.